F G H I J K L M N.
Stop! Help! Help! Help!
I'm gonna pull this out of my back.
Put your hand on your back! Hand by your back! Put your hand on your back!
Welcome to When Four Dirty Cops Got Sued and Fired. Your front row seat to the circus of police blunders. In today's lineup, we've got the DoorDash Dashers high-speed drama, Sylvester Hayes' mistaken identity fiasco in Dallas, Deputy Jamie Godey's not-so-sharp encounter with a blind veteran, and last but certainly not least, Sergeant Ryan Hardman's shocking misunderstanding in San Marcos. Unlawful traffic stop of a DoorDash driver by a police officer. Roll up to a scene straight out of a bad cop comedy skit, only it's no laughing matter. A DoorDash driver, cruising through the streets of Michigan, probably dreaming of tips, not traffic stops. But lo and behold, our speedster is flagged down by a cop for doing a whopping 120 miles per hour. Speedy delivery takes on a whole new meaning, doesn't it?
Alright. Do you know why I'm stopping you?
No.
I've been chasing you all the way back there. You're doing 120 when you pass State Street.
I didn't realize it.
Alright. Is the car in park?
This is
Alright. Go ahead and step out for me, please. Alright. Just go ahead and put your hands on top of the car there for me. I'm just going to pat you down. You don't have any weapons on you? Okay. Alright. Go ahead and spread your feet out for me, bud. Alright. I'm Officer Border. I'm with the Zealand Police Department. Thing in the car you're not supposed to have?
Nope.
Dan, why are you going so fast?
I don't know. I didn't even realize it. I was trying to get to my customer. I'm door dashing right now.
You're door dashing at 120? Man, you were dashing then, aren't we?
I didn't even realize.
Alright, is this your driver's license in here?
Look at my wallet.
Okay, what's in this pocket here?
I don't, you can go in there. I don't know.
Alright, is that if I take it out?
Yes, fine.
Nothing sharp that's gonna poke me?
I don't know.
What's that?
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
The driver, a mix of confusion and nerves, steps out of his car, hands trembling like leaves in a storm. The officer, seemingly auditioning for a role in an overeager cop drama, starts the show. "You're doing 120, he exclaims, eyes wide with disbelief. The driver, perplexed, responds with the innocence of a choir boy. "I didn't realize it." And thus begins a series of sobriety tests, each more absurd than the last.
Alright, turn just a little bit. Okay, alright, you can just stand right there. Alright, go ahead and grab your driver's license out of your wallet there for me, please. Thank you. Is your license valid?
Yep.
Is this your car? No drugs or alcohol today? No marijuana either?
Hello? I don't
Okay.
know that.
Okay. Alright, let's walk over towards the front of my truck here real quick.
Okay.
Alright, just stand right by the front there. I'm just going to turn these lights down. You can stand with your hands down. You okay?
But here's the twist. Our DoorDash hero is sober as a judge. He walks the line, touches his nose, recites the alphabet backward, forward, and probably in Klingon if asked. Yet, the cop, determined to uncover some nefarious deed, keeps probing. "Why are your pupils so small?" he asks, peering into the driver's eyes like a hawk. "I'm nervous," replies the driver, his voice tinged with a cocktail of fear and frustration.
Well, I mean, test me. I'm not on anything.
Okay. Alright, so the next test we're going to do, same thing, feet together. Go ahead and put your feet together there. What's your first name again?
Torian.
One more time.
Torian.
Tornell?
Torian.
Torian.
Yep.
Okay. Am I saying that right? Torian? Okay. Alright, so same thing, feet together, hands down by your sides. What you're going to do is you're going to tilt your head back, you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to say your alphabet E through P. So you're going to start at E as in Edward, and you're going to stop at P as in Paul. Okay?
Backwards.
No, not backwards. E through P. So you're going to start with E, and you're going to say your alphabet up until P.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so head back, eyes closed, E through P.
E F G H I J K L M N O P.
Okay, thank you.
Now, let's not forget the cherry on this farcical Sunday: racial profiling accusations. The driver, feeling targeted and humiliated, decides enough is enough.
I'll tell you what, go ahead and have a seat in your car so you can get warm. I'm going to write you a speeding ticket and you're going to be on your way. All right? You got all your stuff up here?
Yes, but do you have a business card too?
Yes, you bet.
I know I'm wrong, but...
No, you bet. I'll give you one.
I have a whole family of law, and I mean,
The whole family what?
I have a whole family of law, so I know.
Oh, okay.
So can you give me all of your badge numbers?
You bet. You bet. Yep. You'll get a. Yeah, I'll get you a card from everybody.
You're a narcotics. You said you're a narcotics detection.
He takes legal action, suing for racial profiling. It's a David versus Goliath story, only this time, David's armed with a law and a righteous cause. And now, for a slice of legal wisdom, here's Larry with his take.
Racial profiling isn't just morally bankrupt, it's a legal pitfall. Unlawful stops erode the very foundation of justice and equality. This incident isn't just a tale of a traffic stop gone wrong. It's a reminder that law enforcement is a balancing act of power and responsibility. When that balance tips, it's not just individuals who suffer, it's our collective trust in justice. In the end, our DoorDash driver's ordeal serves as a sobering lesson.
Mistaken arrest of Sylvester Hayes by Dallas police. Dallas, Texas. Sylvester Hayes, just a dad out to get a bike for his kids, turns into the unwilling star of a police drama. Blue lights flashing, sirens wailing, and Hayes, confused as a chameleon on a rainbow, is stopped. The reason? A classic case of mistaken identity, but with a twist fit for a primetime TV show.
Hey, what's your information? That's all.
Damn, I'm finna go get some for my baby, something to eat.
Okay, hey, if you're good, sir, you're good. Come on, step up with me. I'll explain it to you.
I don't give you permission to do it.
I know. Step out. I'll explain everything.
No, sir. Tell me why. No, I gotta get about the why you didn't give me permission. I didn't give you permission to
Right now, you come on and step out. Come on and step out. Come on and step out.
Bro,
Step out.
what are y'all?
Hold on, bro. What are y'all? Come on and step out.
Hold on me for what?
Come on and step out.
Hold on. Y'all, I didn't give y'all permission.
Hayes, as baffled as a lost tourist, finds himself face to face with officers convinced they've nabbed a notorious domestic violence suspect. But here's the kicker, they've got the wrong guy. Hayes tries to explain, his words a mix of disbelief and frustration. But it's like talking to a brick wall, only the wall's armed and not in the mood for a chat.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
You got some food on my neck, bro. I got some food on my neck, bro. What the y'all doing, bro? What are y'all doing, bro?
Stop.
Help! They hurting me. They hurting me.
The situation escalates faster than a speeding bullet. Hayes is manhandled, cuffed, and treated like public enemy number one. It's a scene straight out of an action movie, except there's no popcorn, just a perplexed dad and some excessively aggressive cops. The irony? The real culprit's probably lounging on a couch somewhere, munching on chips.
Put 84 out with us as well, and start us some record, please.
Get in the car, bro. Help!
Stop. Get in there.
Where y'all? Help me! Help! Somebody help me!
Stop.
Stop! No, hurting me. Straight.
You got cut.
No, hurting me.
No, we're not.
What are y'all doing?
You're hurting yourself.
Hey, while he's down, search him.
Bro, I don't have
Gun in
anything.
his pocket.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't have anything,
It's
bro.
on the floorboard of the front
already
passenger.
Bro, I don't.
Hold it up.
That is my gun.
Hands down.
It is my gun.
But wait, there's a plot twist. The officer supervisor arrives, and lo and behold, it turns out they've got the wrong Sylvester Hayes. Bring on the awkward apologies and sheepish looks, but the damage is done. Hayes, his dignity bruised and freedom trampled, decides to hit back the only way left. He sues for excessive force and unlawful arrest. And now, for a dash of legal seasoning, here's Larry with his take.
Mistaken identity, coupled with excessive force, is a recipe for legal disaster. It undermines the credibility and trustworthiness of the police force. Accuracy in identification and restraint in the use of force aren't just good practices. They're the pillars of just policing. This incident is a reminder that when these pillars are ignored, the consequences can be as damaging to the police as they are to the public.
Deputy Jamie Godey's confrontation with a legally blind veteran. A quiet street where James Hodges, a 61-year-old legally blind veteran, becomes the unlikely protagonist in a bizarre police encounter. Enter Deputy Jamie Godey, who mistakes Hodges' walking cane for a weapon. It's a mix-up that would be laughable if it weren't so alarming.
Hi there!
Hey.
What's this in your back pocket? I just saw you walking it.
The navigational aids. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless.
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
You have reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
What is your suspicion?
It looks like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly. You don't have
you
to.
ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be a to me.
Well, you're being one to me.
No, sir. I'm doing my job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in here?
supervisor,
He's right
please.
here.
Godey, apparently auditioning for the role of overzealous cop, confronts Hodges with a level of suspicion usually reserved for action movie villains. Hodges, as confused as a cat at a dog show, tries to explain his blindness, but it's like talking to a wall, if the wall could handcuff you.
What's the stop you for? For a walking stick. And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime, am committing a crime, or about to do a crime. Sir, are you legally blind? Yes, I am. Okay.
The situation spirals into a verbal tango, with Godey's suspicion and Hodges' frustration doing a clumsy dance. It's like watching a cop drama, but the script's been written by someone who's only ever seen cops in cartoons. Hodges, in an attempt to clear the air, offers his ID, only to find himself in handcuffs for his troubles.
All right, Mr. Hodges. Was that hard?
It's gonna be. I want your name and your badge number. You know, I put you in jail for resisting.
Okay. Have a seat.
You'll pick my property up, please?
I sure will, after you have a seat.
You want to pull this out of my back pocket?
Sure. Here, I'll grab your jacket for you, too.
Well, I've always been the kind of person that don't really take things lying down. But I made up my mind to properly, and it is the law in Florida, that you are supposed to resist unlawful orders. So I made up my mind to properly, legally, and as maturely as possible, given the circumstances, to fight back.
But Hodges isn't one to take things lying down. He decides to take his fight to the courts, ready to sue for mistreatment and violation of his rights. It's a David versus Goliath story, but this time, David's armed with a law and a righteous cause. And now, let's turn to Larry for some legal wisdom.
Officers have a duty to correctly assess threats, especially when dealing with individuals with disabilities. Misjudgments can lead to serious legal repercussions. This encounter isn't just a case of mistaken identity, it's a lesson in empathy and understanding. Hodges' story highlights the need for officers to recognize and respect the challenges faced by individuals with disabilities.
San Marcos Police Sergeant Ryan Hartman's misconduct with a deaf man. Curtains rise on a scene in San Marcos, 2019. The cast is Sergeant Ryan Hartman and a deaf man, John Kelly. The plot: a mishandled police encounter that spirals into a cacophony of confusion and tasers. It's the kind of script that would get thrown out in Hollywood for being too far-fetched.
Thank you, Lee. A civil rights lawsuit that accused San Marcos officers of using stun guns on a man who had his arms up during a 2021 incident is now settled.
Albion Leyva received $125,000 in a settlement last month in exchange for dropping his federal lawsuit against the city and the 4 San Marcos police officers who responded to the scene.
Garrett Berger with Waileva accepted that settlement rather than take his case to court.
Kelly finds himself in a physical altercation with the police, but there's a twist. He's deaf. As Hartman and his colleagues attempt to subdue him, they miss one crucial detail. Kelly can't hear their commands. It's like directing a play to an empty theater. The tasers come out, and what should have been a routine interaction turns into a scene from an action movie gone wrong.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back, sir.
All right,
grab his hands. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Ow!
Just have him stand up. I think it's pretty.
Let me see your hands. Hands. Let me see your hands.
I think he's gonna fall.
The officers, persistent in their script of "comply or else," fail to notice Kelly's repeated attempts to communicate his disability. It's an illustration of communication breakdown, where the lack of understanding turns a deaf man into a suspect. The irony of the situation would be laughable if it weren't so tragic.
Things from where Kelly says he was tased, and he's still wondering why it escalated the way it did. Scratches, scabs, and marks from a run-in with San Marcos police are ingrained into John Kelly's mind. He says officers used excessive force unprovoked, landing him in the hospital.
Kelly later went on the record and sued the cops for their unwarranted violence.
I just told them that I am deaf. I verbally said that I would sign this, I am deaf. And then they instantly just tased me. Pretty too late by the time EMS had arrived. I was completely confused. I thought they were helping him, but the police immediately left and said, "You can go."
Kelly, now a victim of unwarranted violence, decides to rewrite the script and sues the police. It's his stand against a system that failed to listen, quite literally. San Marcos pays $125,000 to Jan Kelly. Hey Larry, share some legal insight with us.
Law enforcement must accommodate individuals with disabilities. Failure to do so not only violates basic rights but can also lead to serious legal consequences. So guys, effective communication is not just a tool but a necessity in law enforcement. When it's absent, misunderstandings can escalate into violence, and justice becomes just another word in the script of policing gone awry.